Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. General Hospital spoilers. Dante wakes up at last. General Hospital spoilers confirm Dante Falconeri opens his eyes this week and gives his loved ones the miracle they've been hoping for on the ABC soap opera. Coming up on GH this week, Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, takes a step in the right direction. Currently, he is still in the hospital and in a coma. His girlfriend, Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, remains by his side faithfully, every step of the way. Recently, Sam was reading to Dante. Then, she laid down in the chair to take a nap. But just as she closed her eyes, his hand moved, knocking the cup of water next to him onto the floor. She jumped up excitedly, asking him to open his eyes. And soon that's exactly what he does on General Hospital. Dante finally regains consciousness, and Sam asks him if he needs anything. He replies, Anna. Indeed, he's referring to Anna Devane, Finola Hughes. So most likely he wants to tell her what happened on the pier the night he was shot, and this could be the miracle Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, desperately needs. Now that Dante is awake, he can tell the cops and everyone else exactly what went down on the docks. Everyone knows that Jason saved Dante on General Hospital. However, they also think he shot him first. Of course, most people think he didn't know it was Dante until it was too late. In addition, everyone who knows Jason fears that his time away has changed him and he's not the same person they used to know. However, so far he does seem to be relatively the same, and hopefully people will realize that. The few people who have spoken with him since his return seem to know he's still the same Jason. But unless Dante can give an official statement about what happened, Jason could spend the rest of his life in prison. Now that the detective is awake, things are looking up for Jason, but there could be complications ahead. We know that Dante comes out of his coma soon on GH, but it's still uncertain if he remembers everything. No doubt, he's been through a traumatic ordeal and has been unconscious for quite some time. So it could be a while before all of his memories return, if they do at all. He knows who Anna is and he'll likely know who Sam is, so amnesia seems to be out of the question. But he might have a hard time exonerating Jason. Also, even if he does remember everything and can clear Jason's name, he will likely have challenges ahead. Surely, it'll take time until he makes a complete recovery. Dante might need physical therapy and a great deal of time to recover. But the most important thing is that he's alive. Don't miss a minute of the ABC Sudzer to see Dante Falconeri come back to his family and find out if he can save Jason. Get all the latest General Hospital spoilers and updates daily from Soap Dirt. In the bustling corridors of General Hospital, tension hung thick like a fog. Doctors and nurses hurried past each other, their faces etched with concern. It had been days since Dante Falconeri, the beloved detective, had been admitted after a harrowing ordeal. He had been found unconscious, his body battered and broken, the victim of a vicious attack. For weeks his loved ones had held vigil by his bedside, praying for a miracle. But today there was a different energy in the air. A whisper, a rumor, spreading like wildfire through the hospital. Dante was stirring. The news sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community of Port Charles, where Dante was not just a detective, but a friend to many. At the heart of the commotion stood Olivia Falconeri, Dante's mother, her eyes brimming with tears as she clutched onto her husband, Sonny Corinthos, for support. Their journey had been a roller coaster of emotions, from despair to hope and back again. But now, as they stood outside Dante's room, they dared to believe that their prayers had been answered. Inside the room, Dante lay motionless on the hospital bed, his features obscured by bandages and tubes. The rhythmic beeping of the monitors provided a somber soundtrack to the scene. But then, ever so slowly, Dante's eyelids fluttered open, revealing eyes clouded with confusion and pain. Dante? Olivia's voice trembled with emotion as she rushed to his side, her hands reaching out to grasp his. Can you hear me, sweetheart? For a moment, Dante's gaze seemed unfocused, lost in the haze of anesthesia and trauma. But then recognition flickered in his eyes, and a faint smile tugged at the corners of his lips. Mom. His voice was barely a whisper, rough with disuse. What happened? Olivia's heart soared at the sound of her son's voice, even as tears streamed down her cheeks. You were hurt, honey, she explained gently, her fingers brushing against his cheek. But you're going to be okay now, we're all here for you. As Dante struggled to make sense of his surroundings, memories began to flood back to him in fragmented flashes. The sound of gunfire, the sensation of being dragged into darkness, the desperate struggle to hold on. It was all a blur, a nightmare from which he was only just beginning to awaken. But amidst the chaos of his mind, one thought remained clear and unwavering: Lulu. His wife, his love, the woman he would give anything to protect. With a surge of panic, Don's gaze darted around the room, searching for her familiar face. Lulu, he rasped, his voice growing more urgent. Where is she? Is she okay? Olivia exchanged a worried glance with Sunny before turning back to her son, her heart breaking at the pain in his eyes. Dante, honey, you need to rest, she urged gently, her voice thick with emotion. Lulu is safe, she's waiting for you to wake up. But Dante would not be placated so easily. With a strength born of desperation, he pushed himself upright, ignoring the protests of his weary body. I need to see her, he insisted, his voice growing stronger with determination. I need to make sure she's okay. Reluctantly, Olivia and Sunny exchanged a silent nod before helping Dante to sit up, mindful of the myriad wires and tubes that tethered him to the hospital bed. With trembling hands, they steadied him as he swung his legs over the side of the bed, his gaze fixed on the door with unwavering resolve. As they made their way down the corridor, Dante's steps faltered, his strength waning with every passing moment, but he refused to give in to the darkness that threatened to engulf him once more. With each step, he drew closer to the one person who mattered most in the world, and then finally, they reached her room. Lulu Spencer Falconeri, his wife, his soulmate, lay sleeping peacefully, her features softened by the gentle light filtering through the window. For a moment, Dante simply stood there, drinking in the sight of her, his heart overflowing with love and gratitude, and then, unable to resist any longer, he crossed the room in a few quick strides, sinking to his knees beside her bed. Lulu, he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. I'm here. I'm okay. At the sound of his voice, Lulu stirred, her eyelids fluttering open to reveal eyes filled with sleep and confusion. But then, as she registered the sight of Dante kneeling beside her, her expression transformed into one of sheer disbelief. Dante, she breathed, her voice barely more than a whisper. Is it really you? With a trembling hand, Dante reached out to cup her cheek, his touch gentle yet filled with urgency. It's me, Lulu, he murmured, his eyes never leaving hers. I'm here and I'm never letting you go again. And in that moment, as the first light of dawn painted the sky outside, Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer Falconeri found themselves reunited at last, their love stronger than ever before. For in the face of darkness and despair, they had emerged victorious, their bond unbreakable, their hearts forever intertwined. As the sun rose on a new day in Port Charles, hope blossomed once more within the walls of General Hospital. For if Dante Falconeri could defy the odds and awaken from the depths of darkness, then surely anything was possible. And as the residents of Port Charles gathered to celebrate his miraculous recovery, they knew that no matter what trials lay ahead, they would face them together, as a family.